Hello booktube and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. This is Aussie SFF Sci-Fi and Fantasy channel, and today I'm coming at you with my recent reads and reviews. So since I last did one of these, I have read 3 books, one physical, one on my Kindle, one in audiobook form. I have sped back up a little bit, but I'm still sort of plodding along in my reading. So firstly, the physical book. I reread Terry Pratchett's Feet of Clay, and this is part of the City Watch series. So this centers around the night watchman of the cities Ankh and Morpork. And it is all around the idea of the golem. Basically, we've got a stray golem possibly threatening the city of Ankh-Morpork. This is quite unusual because golems, they cannot talk, they only do what they're told to do, and they never have days off. So they are quite useful in industry around the city, and they're kind of being oppressed for that resource level. So it's almost like a talk about civic rights and workers' rights, which is kind of cool in this bizarre sort of way, because in the earlier City Watch books, Captain Vines has actually started letting in trolls, dwarves, and women into the City Watch, and that was seen as this massive sort of change within the dynamic of the city, because, as they say, they're in the century of the fruit bat now. This sort of disrespect and that sort of thing cannot continue. So it's a continuation of exploring workers' rights and human rights, which is kind of cool but hilarious. Love this book. 5 out of 5. If you want any social commentary, always go to A Culture's social commentary comes from comedy, I find. It's a fantastic way to explore it. The book I read on my Kindle, and I bought this one, was The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. This is a historical fiction book set in Essex County in the Victorian England, and it is very much in the vein of Pride and Prejudice and those sorts of society just below the aristocracy, where people are quite well off. They're not poverty stricken by any means, but they are not the top aristocracy. They still have to know about their money. It centers around a very recent, and it actually happens at the start of the book, widowed woman named Cora Seaborn, and she it comes out through the story that she was fairly badly abused in her marriage, but she was taken into that marriage at a very young age, as he was a friend of her father's. So really hadn't formed herself as a person by the time she was married. So once she was widowed, she was able to explore who she actually was. Her son, it's not said obviously because it wasn't a diagnosed thing back then, but is very much on the autistic spectrum, and has no affection towards her, and she struggles with that because she feels like she's not been a mother. She goes out to the Essex Blackwater place, and it's fabled, and it is sort of haunting the town at that present time, that there is the Essex Serpent, and it is basically it's an allegory of a vengeful god, and people believe that because of the sin that is happening in the town, this serpent is taking people from the town and eating them, whereas it it's much more likely that these people are just falling into the water bodies and drowning when drunk. It also centers around the man who was responsible for the medical care of Cora's husband and his love affair with Cora, and that is seems unrequited, and the love affair that springs up between Cora and the I think it's vicar, or the religious leader in the town, and this man is quite torn because his wife is suffering from tuberculosis or consumption. Really well detailed, really enjoyable book and easy to read. I quite like this style of historical fiction. There's very little fantasy. The idea of the fantasy within it is fictional, but it just adds that little extra layer to it. And I liked the idea of reading a Pride and Prejudice or more of a Bronte level sort of historical novel where there are actually bits in it that don't get tiptoed around. It's a little bit messier, and because it was written today, we could actually put those bits of messy humanistic things into it. This one I gave 4 stars. It wasn't perfect, but it was a really, really, really good read. The last book I've read in the last week or so, or this was my audio book for the week, it was B for Burglary by Sue Grafton. This is number 2 in the Kinsey Milhone series. I'm going to have to work out how to say that a bit better because I'm planning on reading the rest of them. I'm really enjoying, I love my crime drama fiction. This is why I'm going through the Alex Cross series as well at the moment by James Patterson. This was a 3-star read for me. It continues with Kinsey Milhone is a private investigator, and she is brought on to find out about a woman's sister has gone missing. And really the woman is not overly worried about it. She just thinks that she's just gone off. She's an older woman, she's independently wealthy, and she has 2 homes, one where Kinsey Milhone works, and I think that's around Washington somewhere, and another one down in Florida for the winter months. And they think that she's just gone down there and gone on to a cruise or something, and it goes on from there. Really well put together read. I did guess it. I did guess the end, which is why it's a 3. But it is, I just really enjoy that. I feel like it's a cathartic sort of process listening to those sorts of crime drama books. And that is it for my recent reads and reviews. At the moment it is currently Tome Topple. I am participating in Tome Topple. My TBR I've linked below. If you want to have a look at that, please do, and I will do my next roundup when Tome Topple's finished. So if you want to make any comments, tell me any books that you think I should read, please hit me up in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Happy reading. Bye.